We're in the cooling section of the InterNACHI Home Inspection Standards of Practice course. And this video, again, is supplemental to the course. You can play it as you go along your pages within the course. Central air conditioning systems are defined as electrically operated refrigerant-type systems used for cooling and dehumidification. Heat pumps are similar to air conditioners, but are reversible and can be used for heating devices, as heating devices. Air conditioning systems should be operated only when the outside temperature is above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Below that temperature, the system may not operate properly, may shut down due to safety controls, and could be damaged by operating the unit in cool temperatures. There are two types of central conditioning systems, central air conditioning systems, integral and split. In the integral system, all mechanized components, compressor, condenser, evaporator, and fans, are contained in a single unit. In the split system, the compressor and condenser are located outside the building and are connected by refrigerant lines to an evaporator coil inside the building's air distribution network, the ductwork. Split systems in houses heated by forced warm air usually share the warm air system's circulating fan and ductwork. The heating and cooling share the same ductwork. In such cases, the evaporator is placed either directly above or below the furnace, depending upon the furnace design. Here's an illustration of the liquid refrigerant cycle of a common split air conditioning system, which comes from InterNACHI's online gallery of inspection illustrations. Hundreds of illustrations that members can use to boost their inspection reports and help communicate systems like an air conditioning system. According to the standards of practice, the inspector shall inspect the cooling system using normal operating controls, just like the heating system section that we went over before. The inspector shall describe the location of the thermostat for the cooling system and the cooling method. The inspector shall report as in need of correction any cooling system that did not operate and if the cooling system was deemed inaccessible. As is the case with heating systems, covered in the previous section of the course, cooling systems should be operated using only their normal operating controls. Most home inspectors perform their visual inspection of the cooling system by inspecting the components located outdoors, such as the condenser cabinet, fins, refrigerant lines, the support of the base, and electrical disconnect. Inside the homes, a home inspector inspects the evaporator cabinet, refrigerant lines, condensate drain pipes, air filter, and the method by which the condensate water is collected and discharged. The inspection image here is of an electric disconnect at the air conditioner condenser unit, which is outside the house on a split system. According to the 2018 International Residential Code, Table E4101.5, the disconnect must be located within sight of the air conditioning condensing unit or heat pump. Interrupting the power supply to the unit by using this disconnect is not required and not recommended. It is not considered a normal operating control. It is considered a service disconnect, and it should not be used during a home inspection. This inspection image is of an evaporator coil unit installed on a high-efficiency, gas-fired, forced air furnace. In this inspection image, the home inspector is grasping the condensate drain pipe coming from the evaporator coil. In this inspection image, the condensate drains into a condensate pump resting next to the furnace. In this inspection image, the condensate pump is plugged into an electric receptacle installed on the side of the furnace next to the service shutoff switch. In this inspection image, you can see that the home inspector turns off the switch to confirm that the service switch functions and turns off the system. This switch is used to inspect the air filter during a home inspection. It is a normal operating control. In this inspection image, the condensate discharge pipe was observed outside and located near the point where the refrigerant lines of the air conditioner unit pass through the vinyl siding. Cold weather. One issue when inspecting cooling systems is to operate the equipment when the ambient temperature outside is warmer than 65 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a general rule of thumb, or standard recommended practice for a home inspector. The general rule is that if it's cold outside, don't operate the air conditioner. Likewise, if it's hot outside, don't operate the heating system. Care should be taken to use normal operating controls and operating procedures. Compressors have been reported to be damaged by an operation in cold weather or by turning on a system that was shut down purposely. The reason for not operating an air conditioner in cold weather is because of the oil used to lubricate the compressor. In cold weather, the oil may be too thick for the safe functioning of the compressor. Many HVAC technicians and home inspectors won't run a central air conditioner unless daytime temperatures are well above 60, 65 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 2 or 3 days prior to the inspection. Another reason is that the refrigerant may condense within the compressor. Refrigerant liquid is not compressible. Some new compressors will have a small heating element on the compressor to help prevent this potential problem. Some newer units have low ambient temperature sensors that prevent the compressor from turning on in cold weather, thereby protecting itself. If a home inspector does not operate a unit for any reason, including weather conditions, the home inspector could document that the inspection was restricted. Heat pumps. Heat pumps operate in cold weather, obviously. However, do not operate an air-to-air heat pump when the outdoor temperature is below 65 degrees Fahrenheit on the cooling cycle and above 66 degrees Fahrenheit on the heating cycle. Electric resistance auxiliary heaters are designed to activate when the outdoor temperature is around 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and the air-to-air heat pump cannot produce enough heat to satisfy the thermostat. According to the standards of practice, there are a few things that you're not required to inspect. The inspector is not required to determine the uniformity, temperature, flow, balance, distribution, size, capacity, BTU, or supply adequacy of the cooling system. The home inspector is not required to inspect portable window units, through-wall units, or electronic air filters. The home inspector is not required to operate equipment or systems if the exterior temperature is below 65 degrees Fahrenheit, or when the circumstances are not conducive to safe operation or may damage the equipment. The home inspector is not required to inspect or determine thermostat calibration, cooling anticipation, or automatic setbacks and clocks. And the home inspector is not required to examine electrical current, coolant fluids or gases, or coolant leakage. Frost on the coil outside. Watch for improper frosting. During cold, damp weather, frost or ice may form on the metal fins of a coil at an outdoor unit. Heat pumps are designed to defrost this buildup by reversing modes either at preset intervals or upon activation of a pressure-sensitive device. Window air conditioner units. According to the standards of practice, a home inspector is not required to inspect window air conditioner units. Window air conditioners are portable, integral air conditioning systems without ductwork. If you do inspect a unit, look at the seal around each unit and its attachment to the window or the wall. It should be adequately supported. It should not be obstructed. Look for proper condensate drainage. After several minutes of operation, the air from the unit should feel quite cool. It should start smoothly and run quietly, and check for water dripping from the condensate discharge on the exterior of the unit.